stop running rather, with less than 4 to go in both halves. Trevor Etienne back deep to receive. This Adam Mahalik kick. And from the goal line, off and running in Gainesville. 7 in white, rushing ahead to the 20.
It was pretty bland there in Wisconsin. He gets a chance now to be in full control of this offense with a lot of options.
Backside pressure. Mertz will sling it out to his running back, Montrell Johnson. Makes a nice move. And let's see where they whistle this back.
It's back at a 25. That's one of the things that was a strength last year that I'm a little concerned heading into this season.
Well, you mentioned the injuries, and you see the touch or the hit that would have taken place. Waits has been out, obviously. That's something for us to talk about. Xavier Henderson a catch. Said, in terms of how quickly he picked this thing up. Here comes pressure. Austin Armstrong will dial it up, and Mertz going to be hit back near the 25, and that'll be 4th down to make that Pearsall. Watkins will kick it away. Couple of bounces. Whistle dead inside the 32, a punt of 43. Miller, of course, we saw him extensively in the Vegas Bowl.
Love it.
Redeem himself. And a deep ball. Double coverage. And the pass was reeled in. Aiden Mizell, penalty marker is down. Toombs, the corner.
What do they do first play?
Defense number 37. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Take a shot there. That's the Mizell. Too much for the arm. Ends up having to come back for it. That's one of the good things about playing the wide receiver position. You get to see the football. The corner's got his back turned. On underthrown balls, you can either go up and make a play or get the contact there that gets you the 15-yard pass interference. Like
we popped up with it, but the ball obviously Karam right underneath. 15-yard pass interference penalty. The handoff, Trayon Webb, and we'll check in with Pete Thamel for
yet, but I'm sure our SEC Network colleague maybe we'll pay him back in some green juice from his new shop here in Gainesville.
Oh, I love it. Webb will bounce it off the right side.
It just had a really tough afternoon blocking the Orange team.
Quick toss, Miller, Mizell in and out. His units.
You mentioned Jordan Castell, one of those guys that the coaching staff's talking awful lot about, a freshman here, early enrollee, one of those 27 new faces on
in the backfield. Miller, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. More pressure. They'll roll away from it, be tagged in the process.
Yeah, we talked an awful lot about it, Roy. Not supposed to be blitzing, but it has been a blitz fest early on. The defense getting the best of it so far.
Running back, pistol look in the second touch for Graham Mertz, the Wisconsin transfer, stretch left. Etienne will weave his way for a yard, and that's about it. Down to Pete Thamel.
Evaluated every quarterback in the portal. They decided Mertz was the best. Napier did not take Mertz without calling Paul Chryst. They had a long conversation. 18-3 record is really going to help him in this fresh start. And Mertz, guys, was very excited about the RPO game. A few less answers for the
good play on against virtually every defense, and hopefully Mertz is able to take what he's been able to learn in the meeting room and apply it out here and get them into those right plays and make sure this offense has
a touch. Jack Miller, Cam Carroll in the game, transfer from Tulane. Over left tackle, picks up some real estate, and it should be enough for a first down. First one we've seen tonight.
College football, which will benefit this team.
Carroll stays on the field. Miller pulls it out and will race into plus territory.
Back does a nice job of keeping his eyes on his key, pulls it. Nobody out there on the edge to contain, and picks up a big gain.
Now Miller, you go back to a season ago, the thumb injury set him back early. That was issue to overcome. Pressure again, that's been consistent tonight. He'll heave it out of bounds. Second down and 10. By the way, Bryce Thornton's dad played running back at Georgia back in the day. Love to see that if you're a Gator fan. We'll flip it out into the flats, and Scott Isaacs, the penalty marker.
Holding defense number 2. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Includes an automatic first down.
In position for the second year in a row. There's the hold. Here's one thing to always remember. Last year, Zipper at that position, all out. So some young guys getting an opportunity here in spring and tonight, specifically in the orange and blue game.
Cam Carroll bottled up. We were worried about rain earlier in the week. The crowd has showed up. That's great to see. Backside pressure, and Miller got rid of it.
Move the chains. Actually, third down here, I'm sorry. Defensive lines trying to bring in some of those difference makers We know it's a line of scrimmage league, and this team has been deficient, particularly on that they can start to do that, take the pressure off the back end.
Saw Coach Armstrong. Miller, the snap came low, could not catch it cleanly.
The next step forward.
Four-man front, Etienne, the running back. Mertz rips it away, wide open, incomplete. And it was Henderson that broke free.
Running wide open, watched the hard play fake. Does a good job of reading a little bit of a trail underneath that made him throw high, but still that the best teams in this conference are going to make.
Etienne in the flats.
Offside. Defense number 12, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Gainesville. Still scoreless. Florida spring game. Etienne. Nice jump cut around the left side and up for a first down and stopped at the 45. Be 9-yard gain.
With the Jaguars, but an impressive freshman season for that young man.
Yeah, the two combined to rush for almost 1,600 yards. This time stopped at the line, no gain.
Trying to think instead of just reacting and playing.
It certainly is a different roster this year. 27 new players enrolling mid-year, including freshmen and through the portal. Contact against Henderson, no flag.
Themselves, the players were buying in, but I think you eventually saw that thinning of the herd a little bit, as a lot of guys didn't necessarily fit the culture, didn't fit the future of Tyreek Cleveland. So the guy knows how to coach the position. He played it in college, and I love the technician that he is in terms of teaching the details and focusing on the...
Steve Spurrier, and he grew up loving the swamp, even though he was in Alabama. So he graduates from college. He went to a small school, Huntington College. In 2016, he was unemployed, driving around the state of Alabama, handing out resumes. He ends up starting as a GA at West Georgia.
Pete, thank you. Should be the end of the quarter. They will run one more play, and Webb, legs churning along the left side. And a nice gain to close things out at the end of the first quarter on the field. They did give him a first down on that last run. The defense has been the story so far as Webb goes through the A-gap. They're with you. It's what sells tickets, right? The offense.
Especially the spring game.
Right. Inside give. Powerful finish.
I think in the last couple years for him at Ohio State and here in Florida last year.
Third down and 1. Webb will penetrate the line. He'll pick up the first down. Stopped at the 43.
Offensive line particularly. But yet I think it has to do more about having success within the construct of the offense.
Mizell unable to catch the pass moments ago from Miller. Zipped across the middle. This time the grab is made. And a gain of 14 yards.
Player that got an opportunity last year at the end of the season to start playing a little bit more. That time does a nice job of finding the hole in the zone. And I'll tell you what, Florida doesn't get a lot of players. But he's actually come down here to the south and done a nice job the last year and a half.
Nice move by Miller.
Did everything to force a give look when they ran the zone read stuff. I don't think you'll see that quite as much, particularly with the talent in the backfield being Johnson and Etienne a little bit more than Miller or Graham Mertz.
It remains second down.
3-year start in the Las Vegas Bowl. The Gators barely scored a point. They needed a field goal as time expired to extend a streak of 30 years of scoring in every single game. Miller said that really has motivated him this offseason, the defenses in beating them as opposed to where his own guys are. And we've seen at times some comfort tonight. That obviously wasn't comfortable with the snap flying over his head and him throwing the ball to me here in the first row. So
penalty, but that's the second or third bad snap we've seen so far tonight. Just has not been as clean upon what they saw from him out there in the Las Vegas Bowl, which I think is completely unfair. First start, guy coming off, nice little run there.
Talk to me, Cam Carroll.
But as you see, Carroll, nice job on the outside zone and a little hurdle there for the transfer.
It reminded me a little bit of Anthony Richardson in that first start a couple years back.
Yeah. Prove that was not the number 10 that Florida fans can expect this year.
All right, blue team in the red zone. Here we go on first down. Jack Miller surveys. Crosses body wide open, and there it is. Marcus Burke.
To do for a defense is when a quarterback breaks contain. I love quarterbacks that scramble to let receivers uncover. That time, defensive back Jordan Castile having to try to cover for a long period of time.
2 yards, just under 4.5 minutes. So good rhythm that time, CD. That's what you were looking for in Marcus Burke.
Yeah, again, look at Burke coming across the field. Little corner post, wide open at first, but the extension of the play by Jack Miller allowing his receiver to find the soft spot in the back end for the touchdown. A touchdown. He will get a chance to run with the ones to start the third quarter, going to get that opportunity. So we'll see how this quarterback battle continues to progress. We do expect at some point in time, as you see Etienne bounce outside there, expect find receivers in the right spot at the right time. Quarterbacks having an opportunity to throw. It's been a very run-heavy play calling for the Orange team to this point.
Yeah, 59 rush yards on that last scoring drive.
Last year, this guy moving into a little bit more of a leadership role with Amari Burney and Ventrell Miller moving on to the next level.
Johnson keeps the play going. Montrell Johnson into plus territory, ushered out near the 40.
I think that's when you have those backs at your disposal with Johnson and Etienne, you're going to feed those guys. It's going to be kind of the flavor of the offense this year in general for Florida. And I think it's such an interesting run game that they're tonight so far. Had a couple big runs, and that's with an offensive line that's depleted a little bit.
Graham Mertz through his progressions has his man, Caleb Douglas. And still on his feet, pounded down near the 15.
He gets up going through the air. Nice job, as you said, of Mertz going through his progressions. Finds Caleb Douglas. He's got to secure the football a little bit more as he's going down. Doesn't take a huge hit. Ball comes out, turns a scoring opportunity into a turnover.
And that was your guy, Shamar James, with the recovery.
Again, we saw him make a play around the line.
In Lincoln High School, and let's see what 17 brings to the table. Four-man front, inside give. And Webb.
Going out, it was Anthony Richardson, and then a big gap behind him. That's why you saw the play calling conservative sometimes. Didn't necessarily put Anthony Richardson in harm's way a lot to come down here to Gainesville.
Pick up the pressure. This ball going long and incomplete.
Guys, the evaluation of the talent of those guys. Ricky Pearsall won last year. Osiris Torrance, Montrell Johnson. New faces that came in were big-time contributors, and it's a huge get to get number one back, as you mentioned.
More calmness in their minds and understanding what he was able to do at Louisiana. And year two of their system, kind of everybody understands their role for the first time.
Nice.
On cue and a big completion. Inside the 30 to 28, a gain of 19 to Xavier Henderson.
That's what you want to see. Little motion. Getting the linebackers sucking up on the play. Fake to Etienne, and then the deep over route to Henderson. Nice throw on time. Taking a look at it here. Knows where his receiver is going to be. Got man coverage. Henderson did a nice job of time. Exactly what we were looking for.
That was rhythm by the quarterback and
Correct.
receiver. Pearsall on the screen pass will be sent down quickly. It does.
Efficient. Limited yards per catch.
I don't think that's the goal of this offense this year. Handoff, no gain, it's third down.
Throws from Miller in the first half.
Under 4 minutes to go in the half. Mertz with time. Was standing in the pocket forever and finally escapes with a penalty marker down. And a grab was made.
Picked it up.
He and all coaches would love that in the regular season.
Great, right? Better job of Etienne that time stepping up. Had some pressure from the linebackers. Mertz does a good job of putting his foot in the ground when there's nothing there. Making a play down the field for the completion.
10. Graham Mertz on the move. Into the red zone. And Etienne get down to the 6.
The line adjusted a little bit.
All right, now usually call the plays. What should we see here?
Well, great opportunity for them. You know. Nice play. Has created some issues on the inside, right? So this is a guy who played really well for Memphis.
We'll see what Miller can do. Touchdown scoring drive the last time, and he'll spot.
A little bit. Better protection from the running backs has allowed Graham Mertz to make some plays down the field, be a little bit more efficient, have a little bit more rhythm to that offense.
Tough to tackle Cam Carroll.
Do get Mazuka coming in from Baylor, and Cam Waits, another guy that came over from Louisiana with the coaching staff last year. So this is not the offensive line that we're going to see in the fall.
Henderson back deep to receive. Crawshaw punt. And The wobbler will take a bounce. On the conference, really over the course of the next 2 weeks or so. Clean pocket for Mertz. He retreats finally and incomplete, looking for Pearsall.
Puts his foot in the ground and separates, and most importantly, catches the ball consistently.
Johnson, the running back. Mertz steps up. By a little bit of time on the move, and Pearsall corrals it. That'll be enough to move the chains and a gain of 13.
Tonight, as you see some of the protection breaking down, but a good initial job. Do more with the secondary and good coverage. Didn't leave Mertz an opportunity to throw the ball in rhythm.
He'll heave one deep. Pearsall, and incomplete. The coverage.
Oh, they called that
By Jason Marshall.
I don't know about that. His job.
Defense number 3. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Let's remember, though, as big an offensive fan as you possibly could be, but that is not pass interference on the ball that I'm not even sure is catchable.
He pushed off Pearsall. Here we go.
That'll help your 2-minute drive.
Johnson the back. Mertz. So that qualifies a dirty pocket. Running, racing, incomplete.
I haven't seen a ton of wide open guys in the secondary so far tonight, but I think also Mertz is feeling and maybe looking a little bit too much for the pressure
in coverage. Douglas, remember, had the 27-yard gainer before the fumble that was recovered by Shamar James moments ago. They rule him down back near the 40.
Turning quarterbacks in the country. This is a roster that does not necessarily provide a lot of hope for winning more than 6 ball games like he did last year.
Deep ball. Pearsall rises up and grabs it. Stopped inside the 20. Longest play from scrimmage tonight.
Yeah, it looked like the corner was expecting a little safety help. He was playing a little cloud coverage there, forced the outside release, but the safety never came over. And good job by Mertz recognizing the whole
field. He will flank Graham Mertz. Productive start for Graham. First 2 quarters.
You know what you're seeing a lot here? Take a look on the left side of your screen. Is tremendous push right there by by Cam Jackson, getting that.
16 seconds remaining in the first half. Off the back foot, that's a touchdown. Jackson, 2 for 2.
Khalil Jackson on the right puts his foot in the ground. Mertz knowing the empty spots there, vacated by the safety coming on the blitz. 2 straight catches for Jackson. Former quarterback here out of Gainesville, son of my teammate, as I mentioned, Willie Jackson, a guy that I played with not only at Florida, but at PK.
First black scholarship players to play at Florida. How about Mertz on that drive, CD? 4 of 6, 71 yards.
I believe that was Lon Kruger's squad at that point.
Andy Jean with a path and a lane. And a cut. Brought down near the 25.
A lot of coaching at the high school level.
A little ball flip.
A little tough on the receiving team when they think that the ball's out of the back of the end zone there. All of a sudden the return guy ends up with a flip from the coach.
No step away, and Miller fires. Nearly intercepted, and that's where you have to be careful.
Interception at the worst, and possibly a pick 6 going the other way.
Now trying to spot Burke, and Jaden Robinson. Blanket coverage, sniffing that one out.
Number 2, getting to the flat, undercutting. Jack Miller did not expect the defender to be in that spot. Got away with one, fortunately for him. Get out of bounds.
Toss underneath, first down. That should be the final play of the half.
Where do you think you end up, Anthony? The world wants to know.
I don't even know. I talk to teams all the time.
Maybe you did improve your draft stock there. They saw your hands.
20 years old. He's one of the youngest players in the draft. Meanwhile, Will Levis, he's 24. Hendon Hooker's 25. So a lot of potential, a lot of upside, and I think that's up and moving down. They haven't played football in months. What are we judging on at this point?
Oh, yes. Mizell, the last intended receiver on the deep.
Scaluzza, and he put that cape on time and time again, made plays.
How about that grab? Off the kick.
Yeah, I think it's funny as we take a look at that last play. Little hand fighting. Defender got the hand up in the face.
Pass, defense number 23. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from into the run automatic first down.
Meeting down there with all the fans, just wanting to hang out and have a last word before he goes to the next level. Snaps
a little challenging.
You love this too as a scout, by the way. He took the selfie, one of the fans' phones. He looked at it, didn't like it. He said, you know what, we're going to do that again. So, and a couple of big plays on the ground. And even the head coach at the time, Dan Mullen, was telling us pregame that he was so special. You know, some low snaps an issue on that drive. The Gators, Jeremy Crawshaw will put it away to Henderson. Richardson has some things about his game that will really pop in the NFL. Far side toss, and Pearsall, 16 in ESPN's quarterback rankings back in the day. Snap was dropped and the throw errant.
He'll talk about that. Miller just getting his eyes up the field a little early, trying to find his receiver. At least does a good job of gathering the football, but take a look at those eyes up there. Didn't finish the catch. It's easy to get this position. I imagine very tempting to want to get your eyes down the field, but you can't do anything until you catch the football from the center.
Chris Doering as a quarterback is interesting. On 3rd and short, that's a first down.
The Chris Doering I Like to Practice Award. Yeah, I feel like I was a pretty good practice guy.
Love to see it. How about this completion? You love to see it to Caleb Douglas. Down at 10. Guess who's on the move again? Mr. Jack Miller. Etienne will try to bounce it outside. A little shimmy shake and stopped at midfield. The Chris Doering I Love to Practice Award, that was handed out at halftime, and there's the award winners.
I look like a guy that likes to practice.
You do. I mean, you still look like you could practice today.
I appreciate that.
2nd down and 9, Miller. Keep the play alive in a dangerous pass with double coverage. Caleb Douglas again, the intended target. Are on. His energy has been a focal point throughout spring. He certainly has brought a truckload of that.
Take a look at the pressure off the left side again. Nice job by Sapp. But
pressure, Pearsall back deep to receive this latest punt. All right, Emer's on. Send it to the...
At least one new face and one slim down face that could define this Gators as they try. Austin Armstrong tries to revive some of the defense here at the Swamp. Cam Jackson, who we talked about earlier in the broadcast, and Cam Jackson, and their emergence is going to be key. The SEC obviously is a line of scrimmage league, and if you cannot control the line of scrimmage, you're not going to win games. There's a lot of optimism about Cam Jackson, and there's optimism that if Des Watson can
be an impact player for this defense.
Last pass nearly caught by Mizell.
Recruiting those players that Pete was talking about, the big, physical, twitchy players on the lines of scrimmage on the defensive side is of the utmost importance to the staff right now.
Mertz going deep. Marcus Burke somehow.
That was a little Tyrone Prothrow-ish, right?
I mean, it was.
I mean, the ground, as they say.
Number 2, that penalty is declined. Results in the play is a first down.
Job of concentrating.
Now, Jakeem Jackson all in his grill, a gain of 39.
Take a look right there.
Talk to me.
Look at it. Pinning it against the defender.
That's a catch.
Yeah, well, we'll give it to him.
That is a catch.
We'll give it to him. I'm not hating.
Hey, where's the paperwork? SportsCenter Top 10. We're going to make the filing right now.
It's a big night for Burke tonight, making one of the highlight plays that you never see something like that. That's a tremendous job of concentrating.
Flag down.
Yeah.
Guys, as we watch Mertz scramble here for another pass, it's worth noting I've been on the blue side. I mean, do we even know what a catch is anymore?
That's true. That's a good point.
Well, it's early to be having those conversations, but I agree 1,000%. Always feels like I think he has something to prove. Even from his time as a player. Little jump toss. Andy Jean. And a nice route and a first down. Florida fans will enjoy getting to know him these next couple of years. Jump cut straight ahead. Pyburn stops well. Spring football affair. And the blue on the move. Trying to erase that. And we've seen more issues with the snap as Mertz
struggling to do the basics right now in a lot of ways.
3rd and 24.
Finally have a scoring drive. You're down in the red zone. High snap, inability to bring it in. Now 3rd and 24. Tough sledding from that down a distance.
Pistol look for Mertz. Deja vu all over again. And the ball recovered. And back to live action start of our 4th quarter.
Double
the
pass.
second time. That's Max Brown on the field. Just talking about it moments ago, the double pass. And boy, a hard hit. That is an easy.
Pass interference. Defense number 32. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Hawthorne, the lateral back to him. Taking a shot under pressure, underthrown there, but maybe the best thing that could have happened, forcing the pass interference call.
It was Taylor Spirito. 15 yards on the pass interference, and Brown goes down quickly under duress.
You know why Spirito was in that position, right?
Chris Doring, Roy Philpott, Pete Thamel on the sideline. We've already talked with Anthony Richardson tonight. Johnson will barrel ahead.
Like they have the entire night.
Brown retreating. He showed you the arm strength, and that pass will be caught near the line to gain by Henderson.
He's under a little bit of pressure there. Trying to go through his progression. Never really gets his feet set, but drops it down. He is a baseball. And Brown's been talked about by the coaching staff as a guy that's one of the better athletes. Has flashed at times. Nice poise and
Athlete was the word used to describe 17 with a black jersey. He's going to zing one deep, and Henderson mentioning that it's completion, it's opening, and what it means for Florida football long term. Johnson was tripped up by Dent. It truly did. I watched it being constructed, calling basketball games here to walk in it yesterday. It's eye-popping. That pass incomplete with mostly as a kickoff specialist a season ago. And that one will sail wide right. Chance for a 47-yard field goal. Trey Smack just off the mark. Graham Mertz back on the field. Play action. And the pass reeled in by Isaacs. Hurdle in the first half. And the credible reception by Marcus Burke. The defender draped all around him. And the handoff. It's a nice pickup.
Graham working through adversity. There were some dirty pockets, like you said earlier. There's been struggles with the snaps under center here. He's had to face some things.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a little bit of a...
Really might be good for the Gators, considering you had some struggles on defense last year. Have you seen some positive steps this spring under Austin?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good example right here. Kelby Collins, a true freshman, and playing well up front. These two backs, you know, they've done a good job of making the most of what they've been given tonight. But got a couple good young ones. I thought Cam...
Talk about how calculated he is before he makes a decision, what he processes, and the information that he's trying to gather. Just feels like a really good fit here.
Etienne off to the races, left side and shoved out. 28 on the board on that play.
Nice job of getting the edge. Looked like Scooby Williams did not set the edge for the defense and allowed Etienne to get outside for the big gain.
Pete Thamel. I mean, they've created some chaos tonight, and I think that's what he's known for with his time at Bama, Georgia, Southern Miss calling plays before arriving here in Gainesville.
Defense has taken a big step forward. They were terrible last year on third down. 129th in the country when it came to getting off the field on third down. That first quarter, third down and 1 to 3 yards. They gave up 69% of the time. It's a tough task for a defense to try to hold up on a tough third down situation. This time, the defense able to get off the field on third down. They're able to create a little pressure from Nunnery, as you said, but first and second down to hopefully give them a little bit easier situation in third and long and not allow those offenses to convert at such a high clip.
Let us discover what will unfold here at the end of this fourth quarter in a tie game. Mertz in at quarterback. Sidearm delivery. That pass brought down for a gain of 2, maybe 3.
This is that fits really well into that tight end position.
Stats tomorrow not going to look too shabby for Mertz. That is his 18th completion in trend in college football with the portal. Roster's likely to shift a little bit more after even tonight when the transfer window opens again. Mertz delivers incomplete.
He did 2-a-days to learn the offense. He would stand there and he went through the Gators' entire offense last year on film, called out the plays, learned the verbiage, and he has caught up very quickly. That has motivated Jack Miller.
The right place to throw the football. Jack Miller back on the field here, still tied at 7. Retreating with the screen and incomplete. Right through the A gap, that delayed pressure got to him. I think it was Todd McShay, number 3 to the Colts. We showed that earlier. When things get crazy on draft night, you never know. 3rd and 16, another penalty flag. He'll go in the top 10, but not at number 1 2 weeks from tonight. I don't know. Pete Thamel dabbles in a little of the NFL draft conversation. Pete, I'd be curious to hear.
To rein his skill set, teach him the NFL game, and give him some time to grow. And if he gets that time, the raw skill is clearly there. And we saw that flash a bunch during his sophomore year and again during times this season.
About a time this season where he stood up in front of the team when things weren't going well and said, look, I'm going to be better about standing up. I'm going to be better about using my voice and using my platform as the quarterback here to be a better leader. And I think it was well received.
On the sidelines tonight.
Pete Thamel's debut on the sideline tonight. He's done a good job.
I think he has as well. Mertz fires that pass incomplete.
Decade.
You know what the difference is, though, as we talk about the big 3 in the state of Florida? One team has a quarterback, right?
And a booming punt that is turned over beautifully. One bounce into the orange. 15 TFLs and 9 sacks. Again, that's key takeaway number 1. Miller will dump it off. Big gainer coming to Montrell Johnson in the plus territory, and Lasso down from behind. This has got to be quick, whatever it is, for Jack Miller. And off the pump fake, same play. Now Johnson will move Florida into field goal position if there's enough time on the clock.
Oh, the clock operator.
Closer than that 47-yarder that missed wide right. On the way. And it is good. Trey Smack, how do you do? Orange wins it 10-7.
Let's give credit to the defense.